The essay Tradition and Individual Talent is written by T.S. Eliot. The essay was published in the magazine called The Egoist in the year 1919, and it played a very important role in the foundation of New Criticism movement. In this essay, Eliot advocates the separation of art from artist and argues that tradition has nothing to do with imitation. The essay is divided into three parts. In the first part, Eliot explains the concept of tradition. In the second part, he explains the relationship between the poetry and the poet. In the third part, he gives us a brief summary. Eliot says that tradition is regarded as a word of censure. The English give undue importance to individuality. Eliot blames the English for praising the poet for the wrong thing. We try to find satisfaction upon the poet's differences from his predecessors. But Eliot claims that if we approach the poet without prejudice, we shall often find that the best and the most individual part of the poet's work is that which shows the maximum influence of the writers of the past. Eliot is against blind adherence to past. According to Eliot, tradition has nothing to do with inheritance. It needs a great endeavor. Tradition involves a historical sense, which means a perception not only of the pastness of the past, but its presence. What makes a writer traditional is a sense of timeless as well as temporal. So no writer has value without contrast and compare him among the dead. There should be a conformity between the old and new, and it is not one-sided. The past should be altered by the present as much as the present is directed by the past. So the writer should be inevitably be judged by the standards of past and vice versa. Writer should know that whole of literature of Europe from Homer down to his own day forms a continuous literary tradition, and of course the writer should know that he is a part of that tradition. Poet should continue to develop consciousness of the past throughout his career. The progress of an artist is a continual sacrifice. There is a continual extinction of personality. Thus, creation of poetry is an act of depersonalization. So this is what he says in the first part of the essay. Next we can look into what does he say in the second part of the essay. He continues with the theory of depersonalization in the second part. Eliot explains this depersonalization by using an analogy. In this analogy, platinum in the presence of oxygen and sulfur dioxide acts as a catalyst to create sulfurous acid, but the platinum remains itself unchanged. The poet is like platinum. He acts as an impersonal medium. So the poet's mind acts as catalytic agent and does not undergo any change during the process of poetic composition. The mind of the poet is constantly forming emotions and experiences into new wholes without being affected by it. Eliot compares the mind to a jar in which numberless unorganized feelings, emotions, etc. are stored and later which can be united to form a new compound. Eliot rejects the concepts like sublimity, greatness, or intensity of emotion. According to him, they all are irrelevant. What is important is the intensity of the artistic process. The more intense the poetic process, the greater the poem. Poet is only a medium in which impressions and experiences combine in peculiar and unexpected ways. Eliot refutes the idea that poetry is the expression of poet's personality. Eliot critiques Wordsworth's theory of poetry having its origin in emotions recollected in tranquility. For Eliot, poetry is not a recollection of feeling. In his own words, it is a new thing resulting from the concentration of a very great number of experiences. This process of concentration is neither conscious nor deliberate, it's a passive one. Eliot defines poetry is not a turning loose of emotion, but an escape from emotion. It's not an expression of personality, but an escape from personality. That's all. If you want to hear my new classes, please subscribe my channel and enable the bell button. Thank you.